If your griddle looks like this, don't throw it away. We're gonna show you how to make it just like new. This griddle's pretty beat up. It's been outside all winter long, but don't be intimidated by it. We're gonna use a few products to make it just like new. First, cast iron conditioner. We're gonna use paper towels, steel wool, really good spatula, some water, and some gloves. To get started, we're just gonna turn this on a medium-low heat and let that griddle start warming up. We're gonna take the spatula and we're just gonna scrape the top and get a lot of this loose debris and rust off. Just give us a good place to start from. You can see this is just flaking off here. We're just gonna scrape everything to the front. Now you can see how much debris this top layer of the griddle came off, as well as all the seasoning. So we're just gonna get rid of that. Now let's use our first paper towel, just a little bit wet, just to help collect some of this dust. Make sure when we're doing this, we're starting with a nice clean surface so that we can get the rest of the rust off. Now that we've got all the loose debris dusted off, we're gonna quickly throw on some gloves, make sure our hands stay clean. We're gonna grab some water. The griddle's warm right now. We're just gonna pour a little bit on here. Make sure it's not too hot, just a little warm, and it's gonna steam on us, so don't burn yourself. All right, so we're dumping water on here, just getting a little more of that dust off and getting the griddle ready to get scrubbed down with that steel wool. All right, now take our steel wool, and we're just gonna scratch the entire surface of this griddle with it and try and get all that loose rust off. If the griddle's too hot, just wait a second. Don't burn yourself, but do it when it's still warm. Do the best job you can. You can see how much loose rust is still coming off of this. So what we're doing here is we're getting all that rust off so we can create a nice base to lay our new seasoning down on. Make sure you get the entire griddle. Even the grease trough had quite a bit of rust in, so we're just gonna get that all out so we make sure we have a really good surface to work on. All right, we've been scrubbing this for about 5 minutes now. We've got quite a bit of it off. We're just gonna use a damp paper towel and get the rest of that dust off and see what else we need to do. Now we're gonna swap paper towels. Look how dirty that got just with half of the griddle. Some of these corners are kind of hard to get, so I'm just gonna put the paper towel on the spatula and just kind of wipe it right in there. Make sure all that dust is coming up. All right, so we've wiped it down. It's looking so much better, but I'm gonna go one more time with the steel wool and just scrub it one more time, making sure we're getting all the rust up. You might need to repeat this process a couple different times until the griddle's ready. We've got to wipe down the dust one more time, and then we'll see if it's ready for seasoning. One of the ways that we know we're ready to season is by how dirty the paper towel is. This is looking pretty good. All right, this griddle's ready for seasoning. We're gonna use a Camp Chef cast iron conditioner, or you can use a high smoke point oil. Basically, if you can use it to condition cast iron, you can use it to condition this griddle. Feel free to use a generous amount. And then take our paper towels and we're gonna wipe that all over the griddle. See how it's melting already? That's perfect. Just start from the back and make sure we cover the entire surface. And if the underside of your griddle is rusty as well, you can use this same process. So we've let this first layer of seasoning sit for a second with the stove on a medium-low heat, and you can tell it's kind of smoky right now. Once it starts doing this, we're gonna add another layer of seasoning. In between seasonings, we're just gonna make sure that we wipe down any excess oil. All right, we're gonna repeat this process 3-4 times until the griddle is properly seasoned. A good way to check to make sure you're doing a good job is by what your paper towel looks like after you're done wiping it down. You shouldn't have any of that rust or debris left over. We just wrapped up with the third layer of seasoning on this, and the more you cook on this, the more seasoned it's gonna get, and make sure you keep it in a dry spot out of the elements. If you've got any additional questions, go ahead and check out our website. We've got lots of information there, or feel free to reach out.